Frank Sinatra, an icon, a crooner, and a man whose fame seemed untouchable. But behind the glitz and glamour of his legendary career, there's a side to Sinatra's story that's much darker. Ties to the mafia, dangerous deals, and shady figures from the criminal underworld all played a role in his rise to the top. In this video, we're peeling back the layers of Sinatra's life, revealing the tangled web between fame and danger that made him the man we know today. Get ready to discover the untold story of Frank Sinatra's dangerous game with the mob. 1. The rise of Frank Sinatra. A star is born. Frank Sinatra's rise to stardom in the 1940s and 1950s seemed almost inevitable. With his velvety voice, effortless charm, and magnetic stage presence, Sinatra quickly became a household name, earning the adoration of millions. His smooth sound, combined with his good looks and undeniable charisma, made him a perfect fit for the crooner era, defined by big bands and sentimental ballads. But Sinatra's success wasn't just about his vocal talent. It was equally driven by his remarkable ability to network and build connections within powerful circles, some of which extended far beyond the polished facade of Hollywood. Sinatra became well known in Hollywood for his relationships with some of the most influential figures of the time, from fellow actors and musicians to politicians, and perhaps most controversially, mobsters. As his fame grew, so did his access to a more shadowy side of the entertainment world. His interactions with Mafia figures, some of whom were rumored to have helped him with career-boosting favors, would play a pivotal role in shaping his legacy. 2. Sinatra's mob ties. A dangerous relationship. The rumors about Frank Sinatra's ties to the Mafia have been rampant for decades. While Sinatra consistently denied any direct involvement with organized crime, it's well documented that he was closely linked with notorious figures, particularly through his Rat Pack connections to infamous mobsters like Mafia boss Lucky Luciano and Chicago outfit associate Sam Giancana. Sinatra's relationships with these powerful figures reportedly went beyond casual friendships. Numerous stories have emerged about how the Mafia allegedly helped propel his career, arranging lucrative deals, securing coveted performance venues, and even influencing Hollywood executives to offer him roles or prime contracts. One of the most notable and widely discussed connections Sinatra had was with Sam Giancana, whose legendary ties to the Chicago Mafia made him a formidable figure in the criminal underworld. It's been suggested that Sinatra and Giancana shared a mutual interest in gaining political influence, particularly during the presidential election of John F. Kennedy. Sinatra, who was famously close to the Kennedy family, has long been at the center of rumors suggesting that he helped swing votes in Kennedy's favor, allegedly with the assistance of his mob ties. As much as Sinatra tried to distance himself from these accusations, it's clear that his associations with these dangerous figures had a significant impact on both his rise to fame and the eventual scandals that tarnished his image. 3. The dark side of fame. Mob influence and public scandals. Sinatra's affiliation with the Mafia was not limited to personal relationships. It was rumored to have spilled over into his professional life as well. Several stories surfaced over the years about how the Mafia allegedly helped Sinatra land key recording contracts, secured hotel bookings, and even ensured he was given preferential treatment during performances. The Mafia's influence in Hollywood allowed him access to the most exclusive venues and events, often with a little behind-the-scenes support from powerful figures. In return, Sinatra was said to have assisted the mob in various ways, from entertaining key figures to making certain business dealings more favorable for the Mafia's interests. These murky dealings created an unspoken yet undeniable bond between Sinatra and the underworld. The dangerous flirtation with the mob didn't just result in whispered rumors. It led to very real public scandal. Sinatra's ties to Giancana, in particular, were well known, and in the 1960s, when the FBI started investigating mob connections to Hollywood figures, Sinatra found himself under intense scrutiny. Stories about Sinatra's alleged mob activities, ranging from fixing events to rumored involvement in gambling rackets, began to surface, further tarnishing his clean-cut image. The press sensationalized his connections, making them an unavoidable part of his narrative, which caused his personal life to overshadow his professional accomplishments at times. These scandals, coupled with public whispers about his involvement in organized crime, left fans questioning just how far Sinatra had gone to achieve his success, and whether the price of fame had been much steeper than anyone realized. 4. The Fall and Redemption. Living with the legacy. As Sinatra's career progressed, the spotlight on his ties to the Mafia only intensified. By the 1970s, Sinatra began to distance himself from the Mafia's influence, but his past connections lingered. His involvement in various mob-related activities was never fully proven, but the cloud of suspicion followed him for years, particularly when the FBI's investigations into his associations continued to emerge. Despite the ongoing rumors and scandals, Sinatra's career experienced a resurgence. In the 1980s, Sinatra performed for new generations, and he became something of a living legend, a symbol of old Hollywood's glamour. However, the darker aspects of his life, the dangerous deals, the power struggles, and the Mafia connections, continued to shadow his reputation. Sinatra never fully escaped the rumors, but he remained a beloved figure in American culture, celebrated for his immense contributions to music and film. His legacy is a complicated one, marked by both brilliance and controversy, with the mob's influence serving as a reminder of the price of fame in an unforgiving world. 5. The Untold Truth. The Man Behind the Myth. To this day, Frank Sinatra's relationship with the Mafia remains a subject of fascination. While much of the truth remains hidden, the public's perception of Sinatra is colored by his involvement with organized crime figures, creating an enduring myth around the man himself. Some view him as a victim of the Mafia's influence, while others believe he was a willing participant in some of the darker dealings of Hollywood's golden era. In the end, Frank Sinatra was more than just a talented singer. He was a figure caught between the glitz of fame and the dangers of the criminal underworld. The blurred lines between his public persona and private life made him a compelling and enigmatic figure, one whose story continues to intrigue and mystify. Frank Sinatra's life was as complicated as his music, a man who rose to fame with the help of the Mafia, only to later try and distance himself from those dangerous ties. Sinatra's legacy is filled with both brilliance and scandal. As we reflect on the man behind the myth, it's clear that the line between genius and danger is sometimes thinner than we think. What's your take on Frank Sinatra's Mafia connections? Was he a pawn in a dangerous game or a willing player? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more deep dives into the untold stories behind the stars.